Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about teaching your kid how to ride a bike.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about teaching your kid how to ride a bike. So if any of you have bought my book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, or have read it online or acquired it somehow, or even heard me talk about certain lessons, one of the lessons in the book I reference, going to the park or riding bikes. And one time, and this is the story in the book, I was at a park when my son was probably about 4.5, 5 years old, riding his bike with training wheels with the utmost confidence, taking big circles around the park, and he just was doing an amazing job. And I witnessed another child with his parents, probably about 10 years old. This kid had so much fear in him about riding a bike. I remember thinking to myself, man, why is that kid so scared? I mean, who cares if he falls? And I saw the frustration in the parents' eyes and through their tonality around, hey, you just got to do this. You're old enough. You should know how to do this already. And I thought to myself, and I think I wrote this in the book, is when the kid had no fear, the parents probably were like, oh, Johnny, you're going to get hurt. You're going to fall. Be careful. And all of this negative stuff towards riding a bike. So I'm watching that kid that day and thinking, man, I wish his parents would have gave him opportunities younger or didn't instill those fears in him. And here I am a couple years later. We took the training wheels off my son's bike probably about 2 years ago, and he never wanted to try or really try to ride a bike without his training wheels. Right now, he just turned 8, and he is in Cub Scouts, and they have a biking outing with all the scouts. And I said to him a couple weeks ago, I said, you can do what you want to do. You don't need to attend it, or you can when they have the bike outing. But all your friends know how to ride a bike at this point. If you want to attend, you kind of need to know how to ride a bike. You're not going to learn there. Daddy's willing to, re-up, spend some time doing this. Are you ready? And he's like, what do you mean everybody knows how to ride a bike? I said, our neighbor has known, and he's younger than my son by a year, has known how to ride a bike for 2 years, since he was 5. You're now 8. People know how to ride bikes. You need to learn if you want to go on this bike outing, because I'm not going to sit there and walk next to you while you're chugging a bike. So either learn how to ride a bike, or we're just going to have to miss that one. Now there's motivation. So we went out to his bike, and the tires are flat, and I fixed them and blew them up. And the idea was that we were going to go throw the baseball, as I discussed in yesterday's episode. And he says, well, Dad, can I learn how to ride a bike? He don't want to learn how to throw a baseball right now or catch a baseball, but he wants to learn how to ride a bike all of a sudden. I said, yeah, let's do that, because we got to learn. And he gets out there, and he has fear. Very much like I saw that 10-year-old just a few short years ago at the park with his parents. And the 10-year-old was like, I don't want to fall. I'm scared. And here's my son. I got to get my helmet on, Dad. Dad, I really don't want to fall. I'm scared I'm going to get hurt. I said, well, how would you get hurt? It's no big deal. Dad, I don't want to break a bone. Break a bone? Who do you know that's broken a bone from riding a bike? I don't know anybody. I said, so why would that be your first fear? I said, listen, Daddy has broken a lot of bones in his life, and not one of them was from riding a bike. And Daddy, from age 5 to probably about 15, 16, rode a bike almost on a daily basis. So I believe in you. I trust you. And I know that you can ride this bike. So let's go. I'm going to guide you. We're going to give you a couple quick pointers, and let's see what happens. I tell you, within 5 minutes, he's going 100 yards down the road all on his own. Didn't know it because I was behind him holding the seat at the beginning, and then I'm just behind him and I'm talking to him. And I said, I hope you know you've been doing this on your own. Daddy's not holding it. What? Then he goes to look back, right? And then he swerves, and I got to grab him. But I believed in him. He believes in himself at that point. He goes, well, I did that on my own? Yeah. Well, I want to turn. I said, well, you need to learn to go straight first and be very confident in that before we start really turning. But then he got to turn all the way around on his own. Then he went back. It's a slight decline and a slight incline. And he had to pedal harder going up, right? And he had to keep that momentum to go. And he learned how to do that. Now I'm going up and down the street with him, 20 times by foot in order to potentially catch him because it is cement. He learned to bail twice. He learned to jump off. As a matter of fact, on one of the turns, he jumped off, left me with the bike, and I took a pedal in the shin, and I got a big gash in my shin right now. And I said, look, I got more injured out here than you, and I'm not even riding a bike. And he laughs. So he did take one spill where he got a little hurt, and then he's like, I think I'm done for the day. I said, how about one more try? He goes, okay, I got one more in me. And he goes down. And the whole reason I wanted that try, look, I don't know jack about parenting, but I know if you're fearful of something and the very last thing you did was negative, like the last thought you had is the last thing you did was you fell off the bike, that's going to be your last memory. And I didn't want that to be his last memory for the day because I wouldn't want him coming home saying, man, but that last one I fell. So I had him go down the road and back one more time. And I got off and I said, can I ride the bike back to the house, which was only a couple houses down? He said, yeah, but it's up the hill. And I said, you did so good today. You didn't know you could do all that. He goes, I didn't know I could do all that. I said, Daddy's so proud of you. And notice when you did fall and you got a little bit, you got right back on the bike. Daddy's so proud of you. But this is what I'm most proud of. And I'm going to pat myself on the back here. I want my kid to learn how to do everything when I think he's capable. And I thought he was capable at 5 to ride a bike. He wasn't ready. He didn't want it. It wasn't his desire. When I tried to introduce it, he kept saying no. When the opportunity arose where he's now in the Scouts and his buddies are involved, and that's his now new motivation, I was ready to say yes when he was ready to say yes. And within minutes, he started picking it up. Within a few days or maybe a week, as long as we're consistent getting on this bike, he's going to be riding with confidence. And in 3, 4, 5 weeks from now, when the Cub Scouts go on their biking excursion, he's going to ride with his friends with confidence. Parents, it's our job to teach them as early and often as we can, not knowing when they are going to receive the information. But it's also, we have to understand the stage they're at and when they're ready to develop. We all want our kids to walk at 9 months old. We all want our kids to be saying, 35 words by the time they're a year old. We all want our kids to, know the alphabet and be able to read a little bit, possibly when they're going into kindergarten. But at the end of the day, if they're not ready for themselves, if they're not motivated themselves, we're putting undue stress and pressures on our children. And so I'm actually proud of myself for watching the cues. I'm glad I'm aware of myself as a parent to say, although I want these things for him, if he doesn't want them, if he doesn't feel he needs them, nobody needs to know how to ride a bike in this world. It's a nice add-on, but nobody needs to know how to ride a bike in this world. I'm just glad I had the patience with him and empowered him when he wanted to do it, not when I wanted to do it. See you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.